1964, we returned to Walsingham for the second time, and as we make our way in the coach along this last lap of the Holy Mile, our party sing aloud a familiar hymn to Our Lady. We are happy to be back. We were so captivated by its simplicity and antiquity in 1962 that we decided to return again in 64. At 6:30, in order to be in time at the Slipper Chapel a mile away for 7 o'clock Mass. On this Sunday morning, all of us, in order to make the pilgrimage properly, had to walk the entire mile to the Slipper Chapel. Many of us arrived there long before Mass was due to start, and, as in all cases, many of our party arrived just in time. However, it was a great effort, and it took some doing by many of our members, especially those of us who were not too young and for whom this journey was quite a considerable length. Mass over, and also breakfast, we make our way into the Priory grounds, which were right opposite the Martyrs' Cafe, the Master's Restaurant, where most of our party stayed. Now, in these Priory grounds, of course not in their present state or in their original state, but when they were just the ordinary green grounds, green fields of Walsingham, it was here in the year 1061 that Our Lady appeared to the Lady Richeldis and made known to her her desire to have erected in Walsingham a replica of the Holy House at Nazareth. Then, after a series of remarkable coincidences bordering on the supernatural, the Holy House was eventually erected. People came there to pray and to ask of Our Lady special favors and blessings. Some of the most remarkable favors and blessings were granted, miracles were wrought, and then started the great pilgrimages to Walsingham to honor Our Lady. So here in these sacred grounds, where now you can see the ruins of the early abbey, here you had the great ceremonies, the great Marian devotions of pre-Reformation days. It was to this spot that princes, kings, dukes, chieftains, and various other noble people came on pilgrimage. Now here we have the pilgrims congregated round the baths, which were used in Walsingham just as they are in Lourdes today for the immersion of the sick. Here we have one of our pilgrims dipping the rosaries of our fellow pilgrims in the waters at Walsingham. And now we are back again in the Priory grounds, surveying their beauty, sitting under the shade of the chestnut tree on this beautiful Whit Sunday morning, when the sun did shine down in all its glory. Here we have some of the older members of our party and the coach driver enjoying a welcome rest on the seat in the Priory grounds. Here we have a further view, or at least a view from another angle, of these remarkable ruins, leaving it easy for us to visualize what a beautiful building this Priory Abbey and church must have been. Now, right outside the Abbey grounds, just about 100 yards to the right of the main entrance, we see the Anglican shrine. We were told about this Anglican shrine, about the great devotion to Our Lady, which was evidenced there amongst our Anglican friends. And so we visited it and saw for ourselves something which fascinated us, something which deeply moved us, something which left us wanting to see this more and more. It was quite obvious to us from our brief visit to the Anglican shrine that devotion to the Mother of God amongst our Anglican friends is something which we can very well emulate. Now we are back in the little square in front of the Catholic Church, and we are forming up for the afternoon procession in honor of Our Lady. In this procession we are joined by parties from London, from Yorkshire, from Liverpool, and from other parts. Walsingham on this particular Whitsun weekend was truly a place to which many people had come out of love of Our Blessed Lady. And also amongst the pilgrims we could see the occasional coloured pilgrim also bent and paying honour to Our Lady. Here we see the two Michaels, John, helping to carry the statue of Our Lady of Walsingham. And here we see them again sharing in this great honor. This time they're assisted by a gentleman from the Mere, who was also one of our party on the 1962 pilgrimage.
When on the bed of death I lie, do thou remember me. Oh, lay by the stars that make a glory round thy head, and by the pure.
Now here we have a separate procession which our group had on this Sunday morning, when here you see the boys leading, carrying the cross, and followed by the men and the ladies. Here we are entering the grounds of the Slipper Chapel. Our party go into the Slipper Chapel, where we have our own separate benediction. Now, at the rear of the Slipper Chapel, there is also another benediction taking place at the open-air altar. And here we have the priest, the leader of the London group, bearing our Lord and the sacred monstrance from the rear of the slipper chapel to the open-air altar. We go back inside into the slipper chapel. What a great occasion, what a unique occasion this is for us, to have benediction in here, which in pre-Reformation days was visited by queens, kings, princes, and others, all doing honor to Our Lady of Walsingham. Now we are in the grounds of the slipper chapel, and this time we are feeling rather tired and thirsty. We sample some of the lemonade and orangeade, and also we purchase some souvenirs to bring to our friends back at home. Here we are joined by a sister and a party of school children from Leeds. They are deeply impressed by our carrying of the statue of Our Lady of Fatima, and they pose for these shots which we and others take of them. Here are some other members of our party also enjoying the leisure of the slipper chapel grounds. Valerie, who has since entered the convent of the Sisters of Our Lady of Compassion. Here is our coach driver Cyril, and here is Sam, whom we had in 1962. Both these drivers went with us to Lourdes in 1961. Here we have the entire party grouping up for photographs, so we also take advantage of it and have some shots of them.